Men's Booth.
Henry, are you married?
Oh, yes, I am.
Married.
I'm married to a very wonderful and beautiful lady.
Can I see? I didn't ask you.
It crossed my mind. All
Are
the
you
question was, are you
married?
married?
No, I
It's
have
a
to.
yes or
Can
no
I see
answer.
your wedding
She
band?
may
Can
be
I see your
watching.
wedding
She
band?
may be watching.
Okay, nice. Are you married? Can I see your wedding band? Nice.
He's going somewhere.
Are you married?
Yes.
Band?
No.
None. Huh? We'll come to that. Married? No band? No. You should be beside Sammy. Well, I'm married.
Yes.
And I have my wedding band on.
Yeah.
And even if I take this off,
Yeah.
I still have this band.
I still have mine.
on. Hi guys, welcome. It's another episode of Men's Booth. And already you know what the program is all about. It's all about men. My name is Marshall Anthony Onoye, and for some very odd reasons, we'd like to add, I am a man on this show. It's gradually becoming a culture. I still haven't gotten over the voice that I inherited from that prayer session. You know, cracking my voice, trying to get into the inner man spirit of my soul. But I'm bringing it here to Men's Booth. It's not limiting me as long as you can hear me. And I'd like at this juncture to bring in my very own twin brother, Men's Booth twin brother, Sammy. Introduce yourself.
All right, so thank you for all the many words. You know you are a man of many words. My name is Sam Samuels. I'm the twin brother on the Men's Booth, like he put it. And we like to talk about matters that matter to men, that men tend to shy away from, right? So we're going to be talking about something really important today. Stay tuned. But before we go into that, let's hear introductions from the rest of the crew.
My name is Bernard Kalu, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Bernardo.
And I'm Henry Frederick Ilo. Thank you for having me once again.
Yes, we're happy to have you.
I'm glad to be here.
And I'm Jay Preach, the preacher man. I'm happy to be here. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Now, I started off by asking us if we were married, and I wanted to see the wedding band of those of us who were married. Sammy, you're married. Why aren't you wearing a wedding band?
Okay, so my wedding band, when I got a few months ago, I was chubbier, like bigger, right? So my wedding band was really glued to my hand, and I thought to myself that I needed to lose some weight, so I started setting routines. Then shortly after, I started losing quite a few, so the wedding band, like we call it, became loose. So in order not to go home and tell my wife I lost my wedding band and have to explain myself, I just kept it in a safe place, and yeah.
You should have replaced it.
Yeah, but I've not had the time to do that, really.
Okay, I'll be coming to you guys to ask you the significance of your wedding
Can I
band.
just ask him a question?
Go ahead, shoot.
You know, I think that makes you, really a man, a married man. You didn't think of, you were adding weight, right? And your wedding band was becoming tighter, right? And so you chose to take it off. And
No, he lost
having-
weight then. He decided to lose some weight.
Oh, you lost some
Wait,
weight.
so it became loose?
So it became loose.
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was
The other way around. Then maybe you should just try to pay more attention when we're talking, right? Don't stray.
Maybe I should.
Because that's what men do. Men know how to pay attention.
Maybe I should.
Shots fired.
Maybe I should.
Anyway, I'm coming over to you guys to ask you what you think the significance of a wedding band is. And why I'll be doing that, it's just one of the few questions I'll be asking in the course of us discussing men and marriage. So if you've just joined us, today's episode would be centered on men and marriage. Quite a very sensitive topic to touch on because marriage is very encompassing. There's a lot of things to talk about when it comes to marriage. And I'm sure my single brother here will be learning a lot. And we certainly would also learn a lot from him because he's an aspiring married man. Now, Sammy,
Yeah.
wedding bands.
Yes.
Let's start from there.
Okay.
What really, to you, is the significance of the wedding band?
Okay. For me, weirdly, right, I would say it doesn't really mean much to me as a person. It doesn't really, maybe that would answer the reason why I didn't think of getting another one. It doesn't really mean much to me because it's nothing but a symbol of your union to someone. It means a lot to some other people, but to me, I think the real bond is your responsibility as a husband, as a father, and all that comes with it. For some people, it holds very seriously, and I would not disrespect them by trying to play it down. It means so much to some people. Like I witnessed a friend of mine, a close friend of mine. He pulled off his ring he did something and his hands were really dead, so he pulled off the ring to wash his hand. And when he was leaving the place, he forgot to pick up the ring. Right, and by the time he went back there, he now didn't remember if he actually kept the ring properly or he fell or something. That whole day he was distracted. He was distracted for many reasons. One, what would he tell his wife? How did the ring leave his finger? Blah blah blah. For me and my household, it's not even a discussion. Funny. Well, maybe when I get home, I'll ask my wife if that has changed. But this is the way I leave home most of the time, right? But if we sit down, especially if you're a lady, if we sit down in 2 minutes.
I can't be a lady, I'm sorry.
No, okay. So
especially if it is a lady.
Thank you. I told you at the beginning that you're a man of many words, so thank you for correcting me. So anyway, so if I have a sit down with a lady, right, it doesn't take 2 minutes for her to know that I'm married. Why? Because you'll find it in my sentence. You find it in what I'm saying, my conversation. It just pauses, right? I think to myself, I don't even give you the chance to look at my finger to start looking for the ring to know if this guy is taking or not. You hear it from what I say. You hear it. My wife did this. My wife did that. The popular name I call my wife, most people that are close to me know, is my chief of staff. I'll tell you, chief of staff did this, chief of staff did that, and she's chief of staff in every sense of the word, right? She helps to organize me in the best ways, right? So I can't have a long conversation.
So it stumbles in the course of your day and conversations. It stumbles out.
Yeah, it does. Yes. It doesn't even take 2 minutes.
So for you, it doesn't go beyond the nicely depiction of a jewelry, being put on.
No, I'm not really a jewelry kind of person. So you can see.
All right.
So
Bernardo.
So personally, I see light in what he's saying. Like I understand what he's saying, and
you're light enough to see your own light.
And I share some. I agree with what he's saying. But for me, I would say the ring. It's like the bishop's collar. You know how you see a priest, Catholic priest, and you just see him on the collar. The collar on its own is nothing, but the collar on the priest is what shows that he's a priest. So I think it's a way, it's like a symbol, like a token you can have on just to depict that, oh, he's married. Mm-hmm. And most times we don't I don't have the ring because of myself. I have it because of my wife. So it's more like honoring her. That's why that's the value of it. The honor it brings to her, knowing that, oh, my husband is out and is wearing his ring. Yeah, that's it.
Fantastic. Yeah. Henry Imo.
Yeah. The ring, like he said, likening it to the collar on a priest's neck is just an ordinary.
Please, when you're answering your own, don't say like you said.
Just like, just any jewelry.
Okay.
Any ring, anything you can put on. But there's a big but there, to honor the person you're with. For me, that's why I don't think I enjoy ring. I don't. But I'm putting a ring on because of my wife, you understand? And again, I think when I was getting married, it had a new meaning because of the prayer that went into it. It was particularly prayed on, and all of those things. Let me just say something. It's just like I never believed in the ring, the engagement ring. I never believed it. I never liked it. I didn't think it held much water. I didn't think it could hold someone down for any.
It could be significant in your life.
That's my. But when you want to get married, you should be open to
Those suggestions, right?
new things.
Yeah.
Yes, that even though you don't believe, you should see the other side of it. So I had to do a proposal. I had to propose to my wife in a certain way, just to. She knew. So when I told her, no, don't worry, that doesn't matter. We're already on our way. Our pastors are aware, and all of that. But someday I sat down and I said, but if
It
this
wasn't
is
for you,
important
right? To her, yeah, true.
Why keep
Very
it
true.
from her?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's something, and guess what? The day I made it a kind of like undercover thing, and when I proposed to her, there was a camera capturing it. She was skipping like a baby. Do you understand? So that's how important that is to her. And I was so happy looking at her. So it changed my mindset. It changed my mindset. So
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I hope you're still happy that you look at her.
amazing. I'm so
Fantastic.
happy.
All right. To you now, you're not married. You've heard from other brothers, and you've also seen other mentors of yours, were put on a wedding band. Right now, you're not binded, and neither are you having any symbolism or your symbolization or symbolism around you to say, this is what is holding me down, or this is what reminds me of something. How are you looking forward to wearing a wedding band, and what significance do you attach to it?
All right, so before he answers, we'll go on a quick break, and when we return, he'll give us his answer. You're good?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so we'll go on a break now.
We are the last Christians. We are the last before the end of the world. Hi everyone, my name is Ellie J. It is Ellie J. And you're watching Lovewood XP. Lovewood XP. Stay tuned. Don't go nowhere.
Welcome back. So he's going to give us his answer now. Let's hear. He happened to be the only single person amongst us, and I would really like to hear his response.
I hope you remember the question.
Yes. Yeah, I would really like to hear his response, because some of us
Go
have
ahead.
been married long enough not to remember what it means to be single anymore.
Okay, I really can't say much about marriage.
Yeah.
I'm this type of person that for a while now I've been praying for God to give me my partner.
Hallelujah.
Because when I give my life to Christ, then I got to understand marriage is not just physical thing. It has to do with spirituality. So you need to pray to get, like, it's not who you want, but who exactly God wants you to get married to. So when it comes to the ring and all, first of all, I'm not a jewelry person. Whenever I see a ring on someone's hand, maybe male or female, I just know that okay, he or she is married, he or she is committed, he or she is faithful. And
Should be faithful.
it's not that you
He
should
feels
be.
that's his
Just
own
That's
feeling.
his feeling, right?
that's
Yeah,
his
no, I'm
own,
just saying how it's resonating in my mind for what you're saying.
And I feel like you have more responsibilities on your head. Once that, and that should be something like, okay, once I do this, it means that, okay, there's no signal for this.
So for you, it symbolizes faithfulness, responsibility, commitment, and marriage. Huge. Well, for me, it symbolizes, it is an item that reminds me, rather than an item that makes me feel I'm honoring my wife or I'm doing it for her. I'm actually doing it for myself. A constant reminder that I am in an institution that must work, that I am in an institution that I am binded or bound to. So it gives me that courage to continue in that marriage line. Not to say that without the ring, I won't feel that way. But I love to be in that shape and mood. Then the ring most times puts me in that mood.
Yeah.
That's the significance for me the binding and the bound, the bond that I found myself in.
Your
Now,
vows.
sorry?
Your
My
vows.
vows, yes. It's like, yeah, it's a symbol of our vows, yes, if you may. So, coming down to men and married properly, let's divorce ourselves from the symbolism with which we remind ourselves that we're married and come down to the main marriage itself. How many of us could, or what, Sammy, would you say is the big surprise that you got into? Let's be frank. Let's keep it real here. What would you say was a big surprise you got into after marriage? I mean, you had expectations, you had anticipations, you had so much joy and things you were looking forward to. But what was that big surprise?
Wow, big surprise. Okay, first, Scripture talks about for this reason a man would leave his parents to be joined with a woman. So first, leaving parents to be joined with someone, to becoming one with a person. I wanted to know what it was like to be one with someone else, right? I didn't really have so much expectation. What I had was, how would I put it now? I was just looking forward to what the journey would be like. I didn't have a journey set in my mind that, okay, if it's not going like that, it's not going well. If it's not going like that, no. I just wanted to enjoy the journey and make the journey as beautiful as possible. That's for me. But even with, okay, how do I put it now to best explain my feelings? So getting married, what were the surprises? First and foremost, you think you know someone very well until you have to live in the same house without the factor of time. Before you got married, the person could come around.
You could run away.
Yeah, you could run. There was also always timeouts. You always had timeout. So the person comes to say hello to you, spends maybe an hour, and you're under guidance. Maybe your uncle, auntie is there or someone there. There's always, in my home, right, you always had one elder person there. So she comes to visiting, an auntie is there, an uncle is there, or a friend is there. After an hour or two, you say bye-bye, the person leaves. Now, you have a scenario where the person is not saying bye-bye, the person is right there with you, right? Now, you close from work initially and you call the person, so the person says, how was work? So, work was good, work was this. And after your credit run out, that's the end of the conversation. Now, you don't even have to say how work was, because the moment you walk in, she can tell how work was. And God help you if work was not the way you wanted it to be that day. The first person that would bear the brunt of how you're feeling would most likely be her, because a lot of men were not taught to protect their spouses, right? So your boss made you angry, or a colleague made you angry at work, you get to the house, your wife gets a feel or a rub off of it. A lot of men were not taught to, they don't have to feel the heat of what happened outside the door. A lot of us had to learn that as we grew, as husbands, right? Because you find that when you do that, you'll be the one to fix the mess that you've created. Nobody's going to come to help you fix it. Okay. So that part for me of, no matter the mess you make, you'll be the one to fix it. And your happiness, your total happiness is dependent on what you both make it.
Bernard,
what?
surprises.
My surprise,
okay.
let me just say this. It was a huge surprise for me. That's why I'm sorry I jumped the gun. It was a huge surprise because I thought when I was about to get married to her, we courted, not very long though, but I thought that was well enough for me to know her.
Surprise, surprise.
And boom, when we got married, I realized that you can never know her completely because she's a different person, you're a different person.
Yeah.
When you say you know something, it's like you assume, oh, don't worry.
You can't surprise me.
Yeah. Oh, she likes juice today, then and today is Monday. Next Monday, she will like the same color of shoes. Or she'll like
Somebody lied to you.
maybe she likes chicken today, and you know, don't worry, I'll just do chicken every Friday. Booyah! It's not true.
Somebody lied to you. Now the difference between you and I is when my wife and I were courting, we didn't live in the same city, right? It was
a long distance.
Yeah, it was a long distance thing. So we actually came together as man and wife after we got married. So I didn't have those kind of expectations. Okay, I already know her. No. So it was as though we started courting real courting after we got married.
So you were getting married to know her?
Yes, I was getting married to know her.
That made it easier for you?
No. It took me the first 3 years.
But
I was still getting to know the basics.
You know, for me, there was a line I heard. I think someone told me, was it a minister? Just someone mentioned and said, "You're expected to love." The Bible says, "Man, love your wife."
Mm-hmm.
The Bible didn't say, "Understand your wife."
Mm.
And it didn't really register until after I was married. Like the realm kept unfolding every day.
But
The Bible says, "Man,
doesn't
love
it
your
take
wife."
It sounded like a cliche, right?
Yeah,
The
initially.
Bible didn't say, "Man, understand your wife."
Yeah.
I think that's the major bottleneck a lot of, like I had.
Assumption that people make, right?
That whole thinking that I know this woman.
Oh,
like,
shaka.
this is what she wants, or this is who
Yeah.
she is, or
After
this is what
all.
she likes. Man, that's the shocker for me. Like, that was the question.
Well, I need to ask a question.
Okay.
I need to ask a question. First of all, how long have you been married?
13 and a half years.
13 and a half years.
13 and a half.
8.
You?
2.
You?
11.
Okay, I think this is like my age. Now, when you were dating your wife, now that you're married to her, was there any changes in her character when you were dating her now that she's married?
Fantastic question. Because we're talking about big surprises when you're in the marriage. To answer you directly, no. There weren't changes. But because I knew my wife was growable, if I could tell people my wife was growable, I see that she can grow into what I want her to become and all of that. My bends, my corners, I was just telling you, she could assume those corners and bends. There's also the tendency that as much as I feel she's growable, she would also grow in her own way. Yeah? So you think this little shrub will grow up to be a tree.
A tree. And a
That
really
tree
big
will
one.
have branches
Yes.
on its own. So yes, she grew. And yes, she exhibited certain traits that weren't there before. Not that that there were traits that she had
she
hid. No.
No. It's growth.
It was gross.
I
And
think it's like, you know, the amplified version.
Yes.
What you see in John 3:16
Yeah.
in KJV
Yeah.
is what is in John 3:16 amplified.
Yes.
version.
But
It's the same truth, but
Yes.
But
it's
amplified.
Not amplified.
amplified.
Not
So
amplified.
that's what it is.
And-
And there's something time does. Like you mentioned, that 1 hour, 2 hour visit. I mean, no matter what she exhibits,
it's not enough.
you won't read it like that. But having to live with this person, there's no escape like the word you see. So it just looks like it's a lot, but not like she did something else she has never done before.
so okay,
Now, I have another question for you.
Okay.
Now,
because I wanted to say my own surprise, but go ahead, go ahead.
I heard and I've
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah.
You know, when you just met and you guys were still dating, there's this abundance of love. Then when you get married to her, the love increases. But
At the same time, the law of diminishing returns.
was there any changes in your feelings, your love? Like, let's assume when you just get married to her, the love was like 100%. So as time goes on, she has kids for you, you get to see her every day. She's no longer a new person to you, now she's your wife. Was there any reduction in love you have for her? Or was it just increasing?
Necessary question. Most youth ask this question. They ask the question as to, will you get to a time when the love diminishes? So I mean, it's a very important one.
The reason why I'm asking this question
Yes.
is, you know, when she's 25
Yes.
and 35 and 40, the body shape is different. Now, when she has kids,
Let me surprise you. It doesn't stop at 40.
Look, I know. Now, you know we men, we keep our body shape for real.
It's not true.
No. There's something I want to say. Unless you are into drugs and alcohol and you don't take
Let
care.
him finish.
Or else you are into drugs and alcohol, you don't take care of yourself. For example, now we see how Pastor Chris looks. Pastor looks longer than his age. That's because he's actually taking care of himself. But some women ask that gift, but not like as men do. But do you think, because the shape you see now when she's 25, everything is, you know, when she's 40, 50,
In her
this
youth.
shape is
In
no
her
longer
youth.
there.
Alright.
Do you still have that love you have for her when she's 25?
Okay, now you're going another way.
So we're going to talk about that, but now I'm being told by our producer that we've overshot our time.
No, we haven't.
We have
No way.
we overshot our time.
I must set my own surprise.
You will get your chance. You will get your chance. All right, but right now,
Producer might be saving you
from something, because we still want you to go home safely and get home and be able to come back for the next show. All right, so we would have to hold our horses at this point, but be rest assured that when we meet again, we're picking this up, this same point, right? To tell you what his surprise was, and
Still men and marriage.
yes, so we're still going to be taking men and marriage, because from what we're getting, there are quite a lot of questions and things that we need to look into and tell you how we overcame ours and how we've gotten to the point where we are. So we'll ask that you send us the questions that you have so we can treat it. Let us know what you think with regards to the ones we've talked about. Our handles will be displayed on the screen, how you can reach us. Please send us your message. We'd like to hear a message. Until then, we'll just give your closing remarks. What we'll meet.
Until then,
I'm Sam Samuels.
I'm Bernard.
And I'm Henry.
And I'm Jim Pritch.
and I am Marshall Anthony Ononye. Adios, amigos.
Ciao.